Hi, this is Andre, and thanks for checking out Synthicity. Synthicity is integrating the wisdoms of history, based on fact and truth, into present culture. The roots being synthesis, history, and Sophie, as in philosophy. Sophie, the Greek root meaning wisdom, knowledge. Today we're going to be talking more about Chapter 21, Sport, Gestalt, and War. Or, more specifically, sports, Gestalt, and the Warrior Ethos gone awry. We'll start off with a quote from the book War Before Civilization, The Myth of the Peaceful Savage by Lawrence Keeley. Quote, "The facts recovered by ethnographers and archaeologists indicate unquestionably that primitive and prehistoric warfare was just as terrible and effective as the historic and civilized version. War is hell, whether it is fought with wooden spears or napalm. Peaceful pre-state societies were very rare, warfare between them was very frequent, and most adult men in such groups saw combat repeatedly in a lifetime." End quote. As we have seen in the early American colonies, the very deadly ambushes and raids on settlements by Native American Indians were the forms of combat preferred by tribal warriors. As was also the case, to a large extent, in the American Revolutionary War, with local militia and the Minutemen and their ambushes, raids, and guerrilla warfare tactics against the British. So, peaceful pre-state societies were rare, warfare was frequent, and most saw combat repeatedly in a lifetime, which may be reflected now by the popularity of sports and the sports fan. This popularity and fanaticism in sports, as reflected today, is a result of the warrior ethos in the tribe, all for one, one for all. Now it seems most likely that war played a significant part in the extinction of other hominid species and the rise and dominance of Homo sapiens. How else could one species conquer the world? Could a sports game now between two arch rivals reflect the adrenaline of two different Paleolithic tribes of different species, let's say Homo neanderthalis and Homo sapiens, fighting for survival? Homo sapiens must have outfought, outhunted, and outbred all other hominid species. This genetically evolved and selected warrior ethos, perhaps prominent at the exit of Homo sapiens from Africa 70,000 years ago, led to the dominance of this human species and the extinction of others. And that's why sports are now so popular. It's in our genes. After the extinction of all other hominid species, did Homo sapiens continue with this warrior ethos? But not on other hominid species. They were all gone. But on other Homo sapiens tribes. At the advent of civilization, did this genetically predisposed warrior ethos express itself? Again, here's a quote from Farrell regarding the Fertile Crescent tribes. "The earliest civilizations along the Nile and the Mesopotamian Valley witnessed a burst of warfare, intensified by the increased power of the new states to marshal troops and pay the high costs of fighting." End quote. As in the first armies, ancient Mesopotamian warfare. Are such tribes still present today, as in the tobacco tribe, the opioid pharmaceutical tribe, and the fossil fuel tribe? It appears, after having conquered all other hominid species, some Homo sapiens tribes in this genetic warrior ethos are now killing their own while making billions of dollars with their deceit. This is the warrior ethos gone awry. So, it appears that we may have an evolutionarily selected warrior ethos as part of our tribal mentality. Does this predisposed tribal mentality transfer itself to politics? Is it possible that two political parties represent two tribes battling with each other? Might that be why we as a society are so polarized? The answer is yes. The Homo sapiens warrior ethos and sense of belonging to a tribe can overcome reason and logic and influence our neuroreality, our perception of the world generated by the 100 billion neurons in your brain. This tribal instinct then creates different political tribes within our country, the two main tribes now being the right and the left, with parts of those being the far right and far left, also known as the alt-right and illiberal left. Maybe those on the alt-right and illiberal left could take a step back and reevaluate their political neuroreality.